had a very good, I think, off season, and this will be my third year here at Morehead State, and we have got a full roster this year, which is exciting for us. Feel like our bench play will be much stronger, and we feel like we have been practicing harder. I think when you have a full roster, definitely makes practices much better. To the extent we had a few people get nicked, hurt in practice sessions, but we're feeling good where we are. Looking forward to getting some scrimmages and exhibitions, and then we have an early tournament here in honor of Donna Murphy, who's one of the great basketball players here at Morehead State. I think the first Miss Basketball, but we will have Georgia State out of the Sun Belt. We'll play them on Friday night, and then on Sunday we have Eastern Michigan, and they won 20 plus games last year. So have a very competitive non-conference schedule, and the conference will be at I feel like an all-time high with women's basketball. It's really moved up. Last year, RPI ranking was 24th out of 32. That may not sound high, but if you go back as few as 4 or 5 years ago, our conference was 30 and 31 out of 32. So it's really jumped up, and it may jump higher than 24 this year. But we have 4 seniors on our team this year. I think two of them will be here after I talk, but Shay Steele, going into her senior year, will score over 1,000 points this year. We have Brianna McQueen. Brianna was chosen as an all-conference player for this year in the OVC, and we have Leah Wells, 4th-year senior for us, wing player, who's played a big role for us the last couple years, and we have KK Tate, who I think averaged 6 or 7 points last year. Was a nice part to our team. I think KK's made some improvements as well. So those are 4 seniors. We feel like we're very blessed to have one of the top juniors in the OVC, Ariel McKee, just a very good all-around productive player. She was listed as I think her freshman year and on one of the publications as the freshman of the year. She had a solid year last year. She's gotten in better shape. Excited to see how she does this year. And Miranda Crockett, we feel like is one of the top sophomores in the conference. She was freshman of the week 7 times last year in the OVC. So feel like with that, we also have 3 new freshmen coming in. Feel like they can all contribute. We have a transfer from Detroit, Darian Seward, and Darian was on the All Horizon freshman team her freshman year. She'll be eligible after the semester, so she'll make a trip to Florida with us. So we have definitely more depth, and we look forward to competing very soon. I know our practices have been very competitive. I think it's that time of year you want to see some competition.
Any questions? Growth of a program, that third year, you really see where you're at. What do you think this team where can it be, 2/3 of the way through this season?
I feel like if we get better week by week, we're going to be one of the most athletic teams in the league. We were in the top 10 in the country last year in scoring. Unfortunately, with not a lot of depth, we did not do a very good job defending, and we feel like with our defense getting stronger, better overall personnel, that by conference time that we can be a high octane scoring team, but also a tough team to play against defensively. So we're hoping we progress. We do have some young players that will need to come along. As I mentioned, Darian will be, we feel like, a big part of our team when she gets eligible.
You brought it up, the defense, kind of the focus of the team this year.
No question. we were thin last year. We had a base of players that could do some nice things, and we tried to make it fun for our team. But it was we didn't have really a true point guard. We feel like we were definitely a lot more equipped at the point guard position this year, and we got up and down, and we were very competitive. We lost some very tough games in the conference with a thinner roster. We're hoping that with the depth that we've added, that will definitely make a difference in some of those tough games.
With Ariel, her third year, how have you seen her progress her game?
She is really shooting the ball extremely well. I think she came in, was more of a rebounder, played pretty good defense for us on the perimeter. We've let her play a 4 for us some, just not having as many posts. She did a pretty good job last year of adjusting to that. She has really improved her outside shot, so I don't want her to lose her rebounding ability from shooting the threes, but she's her and probably Brianna McQueen would be our two top shooters. So definitely, and we like to get up our share of threes just because we feel like we're athletic enough to go get a lot of rebounds on misses from a distance. So I feel like that's a big area. Just her maturity, I feel like she has come a long way, and I think just watching her the last few weeks, I think she's made a lot of progress in a lot of areas.
Also, in your coaching staff, you had Dominique and Abby there. What kind of knowledge have they brought here to the team so far, since they here at Morehead State?
Right, we had two assistants that moved. Brittany Parker moved to Western Kentucky, and Lazar Milinkovic to Marshall, which we're very happy for them. But having Dominique Duck, who's one of the top players in history at Western Kentucky University, she had coached Division II last year. She's been, I think, a big influence for our girls. Abby Jump, who played at Wright State, played at Ryle here in Kentucky. Her father's a coach. She just has, I think, an amazing insight for someone her age. I feel like both of those young ladies have made a big difference since they've come in August with everything that we do, and definitely, I think if you ask the girls, they'll tell you the same thing. They've really pushed them in individuals. They also have a good insight as far as team concept, and it's made a lot of difference with their players. And I think just having both players having such a high success of their success as college players has been able to transcend to our team. So.
Who would you say the leaders of this team are?
I think leadership, you always want you want a team that has leaders. I feel like that we maybe don't have one individual that's a leader necessarily. I think Shay Steele, who'll be in here in a minute or two, she's really grown a lot. I think more are leading by example. Like I said, Ariel McKee is a quiet kid. She comes and works very hard, even though being a junior. I think she's somewhat of a leader. I feel like our seniors are growing up. So it was something, again, last year we only having one senior was a little tougher, but I feel like with 4 seniors, we do have more leadership with that quartet for sure.
Defense has improved. Your thoughts on that, and how good of a defensive team will we be? Either one.
Brianna?
I feel like this year our defense will be a lot more intense. We'll be ready to guard. We'll go all out, and it should be all effort.
Sure, you answer the same question.
We focus a lot on defensive stops and making sure that we get one defensive stop at a time versus working on it as a whole. So we spend a lot of time working on what not to do and how to stop each defender in every aspect.
take you one at a time. I just asked Coach about who the leaders of the team were, and both of your names came up among that. Could you just tell me how you see your role? How do you try to lead this team as one of the elders on the roster? Shay, if you want to start.
Well, everyone always say lead by example, so I try to do right on and off the court, like in the classroom and on the court. I try to be very vocal on the court and when others are lost in the play or defense, I try to get them unconfused, and I feel like talking is the key to like being a good leader, so they can know like they could come and ask questions versus always going to the coaches if they don't want to.
Brianna, if you ask, too.
Being a senior, everyone looks up to us, so it's only right that we have to lead by example and talk loud, and just show them the right way, because we've been here for a while. We've done this many times, so we have to set them straight and guide them on the right path.
Biggest difference from last year to this year? And I know it's early, we haven't played a game yet, but what do you see as the biggest difference that everyone will notice on the floor for both of you?
For me, it will be intensity and more of a leader out on the court. I'll play some of the point guard, so I have to lead my team and direct them and be able to tell them what to do, where to go, and just be an encouraging teammate.
The biggest difference that someone will see out of me,
And the team.
Oh, just the team period?
But that's okay.
Oh, I'll do team. The team. The team period, I feel like we will be more of an intense team. We'll get them from the jump. We'll be more vocal. We'll be ready to go. Also, we have a lot of people that can score versus some teams just has a couple that you go to. I feel like everyone can score at any moment. And, again, just getting great defensive stops and being excited when we get those stops.
Shay, Coach mentioned how you're on the verge of being a 1,000-point scorer. You just want to talk about what that would mean?
Yeah, I didn't really know until like a couple months ago, but it would be great because I got my 1,000 points my senior year in high school on my birthday, and we kind of played close to my birthday this year, so it would be awesome to like get it around like the last game before my birthday. But I feel like it's just everyone in college basketball like want to say that they scored 1,000 points, especially D1 level. So it would be exciting.
So are you going to be more of a passer early in the season, and then as you get closer to your birthday?
No, I'm just gonna take what the defense gives me.
And Brianna, it's your second year with the program, but you're thrust into a leadership role in your second year. We're going to talk about how you're kind of handling those responsibilities.
Well, being a leader has always been a part of me. I mean, I've always been the type to always try to be a captain or lead by example. So my second year here and getting acquainted with the girls, it's been kind of easy, not too hard, but it's pretty good, leading my team and taking us on to victories.
Happy to be here. As you guys know, we ended the season last year, pretty good by winning, I think, 7 of our last game going into the OVC tournament. Unfortunately, injuries kind of hurt us a little bit in the OVC tournament, and that's something that I've been kind of plagued with at the wrong time. I think the last couple years, I think our team had been playing pretty good going into the OVC tournament, and for whatever reason, somebody's always coming up hurt. Like last year, it was Corbin Collins, and then Xavier Moons. When you have two of your top guards go down like that, it was kind of rough playing against UT Martin. But then you saw how good we were and how good we could be once we got healthy and we made that run in the CBI tournament. So the thing this year is, just trying to stay healthy for the long haul and be fresh just like everybody wants to for those 3 games in March. And hopefully we can, do that. We're beating down that door. Sooner or later, it's got to open for us because I think we've been playing some pretty good basketball for the last 2-3 years going into it. And we've done everything here except for doing that. So I think that, once we do that and get that kind of monkey off our back a little bit, we'll be exactly where we need to be in this time frame of my tenure here. But excited about these new guys. I think I got two good freshmen from Indianapolis. Jordan Walker and Jamin Henson are, they aren't pleasant surprises because I was very fortunate to get two caliber players like that out of the state of Indiana. But they're picking up quite well as freshmen. And then, our leadership is going to come from, Xavier Moon, Miguel DeSent, Enrico Marrero. And then you sprinkle in Malik Maitland and Lamontre Harris, who both played very well down the stretch last year. We just want to make sure they continue to get better. Malik has to grow up a little sooner than we thought at the point guard spot because Corbin left us and went to Alabama. But the thing that I questioned because Corbin and Brent were such great leaders was who was going to become the leader. And sometimes every team poses a different type of situation. I just think this year's team is going to be led collectively. If you come watch us practice, it's the speed and the intensity. Has never taken a day off, and that's been very refreshing, very gratifying for us. And if we can continue to play that hard while we're continuing to get better, I like our chances. So we just got to continue to stay away from the injury bug, and if we can do that, I think this could be a pretty good year.
Now that you've had time to kind of think back to last year and how it all went, I know it was one of those things where you weren't in the tournament you wanted to be in, but you had so much fun. And so how do you look at it now that you've had time to think about it?
I think everything happens for a reason. I think, if we did win the OVC tournament last year, we got to play Kansas the first game. Chances of us beating Kansas at that particular time was very slim. So I think we maximized the situation. I think we improved our brand from a national standpoint of playing in the month of March and going all the way to April 1st. I mean, there was only 4 teams besides us and Nevada who was playing that late in the year, and all eyes were on us for the most part. So you can't pay for that type of advertisement and that type of viewership. So from that standpoint, I thought we took great advantage of that, and we did have fun. But that's the type of atmosphere we have. We play hard and we get after it, but our guys really appreciated that. And, now they're looking forward to this year doing the same thing because they've tasted it. They've tasted what postseason play is all about. And, we just want to take advantage of it, and hopefully these new guys can step in and keep this thing going with, the likes of Malik and Xavier and Miguel and Enrico.
What was the feedback of going to that championship game, not just in the community, but how did that help recruiting or with getting, as you mentioned, getting the brand out there even more?
It was good, whenever you walk into the Final Four as a coach, and every coach have been watching you, everybody in the country is watching you, nobody's in that championship game, we're the only show in town, and, we're the only game in the country, and it was a great game. Unfortunately, Oklahoma the next day gets beat by 30 or something, you know what I mean? So the only thing they want to talk about was how good our game was against Nevada. So it was good, it gets our name out there. Everybody remembers us. It's helping in recruiting for a lot of reasons. Now they know that this place is worth coming to play basketball. This is just not just an OVC situation in Eastern Kentucky. This is a school that has success in basketball, and we want to continue to have that going. Because you're only as good as your players. You can have all the X's and O's that you want, but you need those Jim and Joes. And I think that we are recruiting a different type of kid now, an upper level, another level type of kid. I've been told more here lately, but you're going to be told more lately when you're recruiting those type of kids. But you're still going to get something that gets you to that next level. So we want to continue that type of situation.
Picked third yesterday down in Nashville. How much stock do you put into that? Do you use it as any bulletin board material to say, hey, we're still chasing Belmont to the guys, or you're still getting a little slighted? I mean, I know you lose a lot, so maybe third's a good spot for you to be. But where do you see it?
Well, you always want to use something for motivation. You know what I mean? I think the top 5 teams in our league, any 5 of them can be at the top. But you got to put Belmont there because they got everybody back except for Bradshaw. But they lose a lot. Bradshaw, was very key for them for the last 4 years. Seemed like he's been there ever since I've been at Morehead. but they're still going to be good. You know, he's still going to pose a great situation because of the stuff that he does. But you still got to have Tennessee State in there. I think Murray's going to be a lot better. You know, and our league has got great coaches now, you know, and I think our league is stepping up from an administrative standpoint, making basketball the focal point of our league. And as you see, the brand is getting better. You know, the talent's better. Games are better. And you can tell when your league is tough, when it's hard to schedule, get other teams to play you. And that's the problems that we're going through right now is getting teams to play us because they don't want to lose to a Morehead or another OVC situation. So, you know, what makes you good makes you bad, you know. So it just poses another challenge. But I like where we are, you know what I mean? There's no pressure, you know, but I like still being, you know, still been having something ahead of me that I have to chase. You know, that other way around, you know, sometimes you can get kind of complacent a little bit. So I don't mind it.
Rebounding was so huge for you guys last year. Where do you stand with that? You know, Rico obviously big on the boards, averaging over 9 a game last year. Where do you stand with that situation?
That bothers me right now because we lost a lot. You know, that's the one thing that isn't proven yet. And we hadn't played any games yet, so I don't know. I mean, we're going at each other in practice, but that 5 spot is a big question mark right now. Who's going to step up? This time last year, my assistants, they get on me all the time because every year I don't think my team's very good. And this year, you know, I'm really concerned about that position. And he said, Coach, you know, you didn't think Anthony Alici would be the guy last year. You know, you didn't think Lionel Gaines would be the guy last year. You know, and we still led the OVC and was second in the country in offensive rebounds, so on and so forth. Somebody's going to emerge. And my thing is right now, and I'm really emphasizing with our guards, they have to rebound. You know, our guards really have, and we got to go after balls. You know, that's been the thing about our team is, you know, we beat people to offensive rebounds. We treat offensive rebounds just like we do regular, you know, defensive rebounds. So we got to keep that same mentality. You know, that still remains to be seen right now. But you know, we got a situation, a close scrimmage this weekend, and then we play somebody next week. So hopefully I'll find out who's who right now. But right now, that's you know, I don't know if I got to play Rico at the 5 and Lamontre at the 4 and let, you know, Taquan or Trashad come. I mean, Trashad he's an undersized post player, but he's the offensive rebounding machine. But, you know, we'll see. You know, that's one question that I have. Is it a big question? No, because I think our guard play is probably the best in the league. But you still need some people down there to go get that ball and create some type of presence down there.
You mentioned that leadership was going to be a collective thing. Can you expound a little bit about what it means to be a team leader, what they have to do, and in particular, how is Xavier handling that role?
Xavier's handling it good. You know, I challenged our guys at the beginning of the year. I did. You know what I mean? I had to do some things that, you know, you just got to spark them, you know, make them aware that, hey, you know, somebody's got to step up. And what happened was everybody stepped up. So when you have a team that holds each other accountable, not just one person, it may seem a little bit better. You know what I mean? I had to do some things different from a coaching standpoint. I had to involve myself more because, quite frankly, I had 2 guys that have been with me for 3, 4, 5 years, you know, who knew it. And they were very respectable kids. And not only did they speak it, they walked the walk too. And now these guys got to do the same thing together, collectively. And I think it's worked out big time because, you know, there's not one person who stands out. The team depends on, like they depend on Corbin last year for spiritual situations, Brent the same way. Now they all have to do it. So now they're all vested in being leaders and doing the right things for the sake of the team.
This year's run, Xavier, that was incredible. What did you guys get out of that that you can channel into this season?
I think as far as last year's run, we gained a lot of experience getting to the final round of the CBI, playing in that, seeing the atmosphere, seeing how other teams react, seeing how we react to certain situations like that. I feel like it gave us a lot of experience coming into this year so we can be better leaders for the team. And as me and DeJuan talked about, We just got to be better leaders on and off the court.
Rico, you answer the same question?
Yes. Last year was a great run that we made, going all the way to upstate New York, then going all the way to the West Coast. Nobody think we was going to pull it off. We was one of the last few teams that was still playing in basketball besides the NCAA tournament. In the OVC, we was the last remaining team. Nobody didn't think we was going to make it that far, and I think our run opened a lot of eyes, not just for college basketball, but for the state of Kentucky. Morehead State still playing in the championship. And I think it was great for a lot of our seniors last year to go out, in the championship, even though losing. However, we won best of 3 in a tough environment at the University of Nevada. So moving forward, we're just trying to build on that, and we're just trying to capitalize from the run we made last year.
Coach just mentioned rebounding. I don't know what we're going to do about rebounding. What do you think?
I think we're a tough team. As long as I'm very confident in my ability to rebound, along with my teammates. We're a very physical team, and I think we're going to get it done by any means. That's when, we'll have to box out for the most part. We're going to have to definitely box out. And I think that's going to be key, and everybody's going to have to be bought in from 1 through 5, our guards, small forwards, power forwards, just everybody, who's on the court. We're going to have to be bought in to gain rebound.
Coach said he was okay with, being picked third in the East Division of the OVC. Where do you guys see it? Do you feel like, man, now's the time, let's make the jump. Let's knock off the Belmonts of the world and make this run here.
Yeah, I believe we're number 1 in our conference, hands down. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. You control what you can control. We're just going to have to play our game. They predicted us second last year. Moving forward, we know we could play with any team in the country, really. The type of guy Sean Woods is and the type of team he always has every year. So I think it's no different than this year that the whole team has a chip on its shoulder.
Xavier, where does the offense come from? Last year, obviously, you lose guys here and there, and where do you see the offense?
I don't see the offense coming from any certain particular person. I feel like the offense, we'll swing the ball, move the ball, and the offense is just run through everybody. Everybody on the team can score. All we have to do is defend and rebound, like Rico was saying. As far as the rebounding situation, I feel like we have to mix it up. Not just rely on 1 or 2 people to get rebounds, but us guards got to crash down and get more boards too.
Xavier, you mentioned a little bit about the leadership role. How much of an adjustment has that been for you coming into this season to know that you are a leader, and can you expound a little bit on how you try to fill that role?
I talked to Preston Spradlin a lot. Knowing from last year to this year that Corbin was leaving, I knew that my role was going to change drastically. So I just been working as hard as I can on the court, doing what I'm supposed to do off the court, and just just losing myself in the game.
Rico, same thing, because you're in that same situation. Has it been much of an adjustment for you to be thrust into that role?
Yes, it has. When you just a role player and you know your role, and that was one thing when I came in, I knew my role. I was adjusting to the system here at Morehead and how we play. And now since my role increased, I've just been a vocal leader on and off the court, because I know what Coach Woods expects from both of us. And moving forward, my maturity, being a 5th-year senior, knowing what to expect, knowing how Coach Woods wants things done, and just getting advice from the assistant coaches on how to be a great leader on and off the court. So I think we've been doing a good job, and we're looking forward to learning what we did over the summer and preseason now for the upcoming season.
How deep will this team go on the bench? You guys play a lot of guys.
Right. I think we go far. Our intensity, we play hard. So those players coming off the bench know their roles as well. They know they have to come in, give everything they have, because we have a chip on our shoulder. We're going to be the underdogs going into most games, but I think this year, trying to capitalize off 24 wins, we're going to come in ready to go and know what we're going up against.
Xavier, same thing. The depth of the bench. Is there one area that you're deeper at, guard, forward, in the paint?
right now, I feel like we have more guards than we did last year, but I feel like we can get deep into our bench. The way we practice as if everybody's a starter. No one has a certain position right now, so I mean, we all go at each other like we still compete for a starting spot. So I feel like when someone gets their opportunity, they're going to take advantage of it.
Xavier, you guys seemed like when the big shot had to be made, especially from beyond the arc. Always we find a way to have it drop ball. Were you guys looking forward? How's your 3-point shooting doing?
It's been better. I've been working on it a lot. That was one of my main focuses in the off season. I talked to Coach Howard a lot. We have this thing called a 90-50-40. That's shooting 90% from the free throw, 50 from the field, and 40 from the three. So I've just been trying to be consistent in all three areas.
Rico, you want to talk about how your offensive game is kind of moved from last year?
Yeah, I've put in a lot of work over the summer because I know this is my last go-around, and every game for me is a test to move to that next level. Working with Coach Preston, working out extremely hard over the summer, getting it in with Coach Woods before practice, getting up a lot of reps, knowing how hard it is to be a great player. Everybody could be good, but I'm determined to be great and show my skills, what I've been working on since after the season. Because I know Moon and I were going to have to come up big if we want to move forward. And I know I had to train hard in the off season in order for us to be a great team, not just a good team.
What the OVC schedule has, but just when you had a chance to look at the non-conference that starts Xavier, what did you think about the non-conference? Is there anything that kind of jumps out at you there?
We definitely gonna have some challenging games, but I feel like those games will help us to build up as a team, be stronger, be more mentally focused as a team, and that will help us leading into conference, knowing that we have a tough conference schedule. As far as the non-conference schedule, I took a look at a couple of the teams like Purdue, Mississippi State, and the Pitts, and I just feel like they'll help us to get tougher overall. Even the players on the bench, getting the minutes that they'll come in with the mindset, okay, I got to be tough, or we gonna lose. But I mean, we never go into to a game with a mindset that we're gonna lose. We always gonna fight to the end.
Going based off what Moon said, I believe we could win those three, powerhouse schools that we're playing against. Purdue, that's going back to like Indiana, my side of town, and my team's very confident when we go into games. Like I said, we played against University of Nevada. Despite this is a different team, we still have the same mindset. We're going to follow the blueprint moving forward. You know what I mean? We lost, about 10 a pit or so. Very close game. And when we watched film, we saw shots we could have made, turnovers. It's part of the game, but moving forward, overall, we could have won. So just moving forward, playing any team we're confident in going into. That's one thing I noticed about a lot of other schools. Going against Morehead State, it's not going to be easy. So I'm just excited. My guys are confident as well, and that's something that I hope they have that chip on their shoulder when we go into these games as the underdog and know that a lot of teams do fear us.
We good?
One last question. I'll let you go for both of you. Winning on the road last year, especially in the postseason, that was incredible. What kind of lift does that give you coming in? Because obviously the big games that you play are on the road.
Go first.
You go ahead.
It's great. I mean, I get a thrill out of silencing the crowd. You coming in on a road. Like I said, we went to upstate New York, played against some great teams. They had no idea a team from Morehead was coming to win. You know what I mean? We've had that chip on our shoulder. Then we find out we have to go all the way to the West Coast, playing against University of Nevada. I've never been to Reno, Nevada personally. It was my first time playing in their gym, 10,000 fans, loud, screaming. But, we showed that we could play high major basketball. And that's the chip that we have. You know what I mean? We expect to win in the OVC, last year, but that didn't happen. but we still had an opportunity to play our last 3 games on ESPN, which a lot of teams don't get the opportunity to, besides playing the NCAA tournament. So overall, we was blessed. And moving forward, like I said, it starts with a chip on your shoulder and believing that you can win.
Coach always tells us that on the road we have to bring our own energy. So, I mean, it starts in the locker room and warm up from the time the ball tips off. We know that we got to be the toughest team. Playing on the road, it shows how resilient you are. Everything's not going to always go your way. It's going to be bad calls. You're going to have turnovers, a lot of fouls. But, I mean, you just have to stick to the game plan and do what you came to do, and that's win.